The opinions expressed are those of the show's host and not the staff or management of Port St. Lucie Broadcasters. Any reproduction without written consent of WSTU and WPSL is strictly prohibited. Now it's time for Quality of Life Radio, brought to you by Cigna and Aetna Medicare. Here are your hosts, Gary Owen and Tom Bouvier.
Hello and good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in on yet another extraordinary Tuesday morning. Today is November 28th, and I trust that everybody had a phenomenal Thanksgiving holiday. Great time spending with your family, your friends. We actually here at Owen Insurance Group had a 4-day weekend. So I know that myself, well, of course, I worked this weekend, but the boss always works. But I know that the employees had a great 4-day weekend. And by the way, you are tuning in to the world-famous Quality of Life radio show, and I am your host, Gary Owen. Again, I am the president of Owen Insurance Group. My sidekick, Tom the Bouvier, is currently helping a client get enrolled in a Medicare plan, so he will be joining me next week on next week's show. So I am going to be doing the show solo today, and we thank you for tuning in, whether it is on Facebook Live, tune in on Alexa, WSTU 1450 AM, or WPSL 1590 AM. We appreciate you tuning in. We've got some great information today, and we are here every single Tuesday morning to provide unbiased information, education, transparency, and just good old-fashioned straight talk so you can make an informed decision as a consumer. Anything related to health insurance, life insurance, Medicare planning, disability, things of that nature. This is what we do. So we bring to you a half-hour radio show jam-packed with valuable information. And again, today, we'll be doing the same thing. So with us winding down, we're at the last 10 days of our Medicare AEP, or our annual enrollment season. And so there has been a flurry of things that have been happening. And actually, this past week, 7 things have happened that absolutely has aggravated the heck out of me and causing a lot of pain and consternation for our clients and prospective clients. So we are here just to provide the information so you can live a stress-free life. When you tune in to Owen Insurance Group, to our radio show, you're going to get the information that you need to make an informed decision. And it's absolutely important that you make the right decision, especially when it comes to Medicare insurance planning, because the decisions you make today can last a lifetime. It's important to get it right the first time. So I'm going to go through these 7 scenarios, these real life case scenarios that happened here in the last 7 days since the last show. And if we have enough time, I'm going to cover 10 early warning signs of dementia. So we're going to get to the 7 life scenarios right now. So before we do, I want to give to you our quote of the day. So remembering you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. Powerful by Steve Jobs. All right. Number 1, the first life case scenario happened with a client of mine who enrolled in a Medicare supplement plan. Rich was not taking Social Security benefits yet, so his Medicare Part B is not being taken out, of course, out of his Social Security check automatically. So now he has to pay his quarterly premium from Social Security. Well, you know, we understand, we get that Medicare's convoluted, it's confusing, Social Security's involved, you're getting educated, you're getting a lot of information thrown at you, and sometimes you forget to do certain things. That is one thing you do not want to forget, because now poor Rich has to go and pay all those months of back Part B premiums. Hopefully, he'll be able to get that done. The problem is when you don't pay your Part B premium, you lose your Medicare, whereby losing your Medicare supplement in your Part D drug plan. So he is in a pickle. So my most valuable point today on that topic is if you're enrolling in Medicare, you're not taking your Social Security benefits, you're going to have to pay your Part B premium on a quarterly notice. They're going to mail it to you. Pay it automatically out of your checking account, pay it by credit card, EFT, bank, or whatever it is, but pay it because it is going to cause you irreparable harm by not doing that. That's one thing you don't want to forget. Number two, this poor gentleman just moved to Florida from New York, and as luck would have it, he was actually going to the facility next door for rehab or for PT rather, and he locked his keys, his wallet, and his phone in the car. That's a different story. We could spend all day talking about that alone. It took 3 hours for AAA to finally get here, but nonetheless, had an interesting conversation with a gentleman, and great guy, and it was awesome that we were able to help him. We stood with him even at the sun went down. AAA still hadn't shown up, and I came back to the office. He was sitting on a bench still waiting, so I ended up calling AAA back and finally got him taken care of. But so he told me that when he moved to Florida here last month, he was on the phone with Medicare. He called Medicare. And they told this lady, representative, told him that it would take about a half an hour to get him re-enrolled in a plan here in Florida. Well, unfortunately, Richie didn't realize that he was dealing with a neophyte who probably knows as much as you know about Medicare. So he wanted to enroll in a Humana plan, and she proceeded to tell him that Humana is not in the state of Florida. He would have to give her his previous New York zip code to enroll him in a plan. What are you talking about? So an hour and a half later, he finally said, forget it, and hung up the phone, confused more than ever. And so thankfully, by the grace of God or some higher power, he'd left his keys, the wallet, phone in the car, and came to us to make a phone call to call AAA, and I believe that was through divine intervention. So the point is, if you call Medicare, Medicare may not know what the heck they're talking about because they're hiring a bunch of people. They're trying to get them through training as quick as they can to get them on their headset, get on the phone, and start taking calls. And unfortunately, it's not a good scenario. Same thing's happening with Social Security. They are understaffed and overworked. So my point is, if you've got questions, run it by us. Let us be your resource. We've been doing this for decades. We know Medicare. We know the answers. And if we don't know, for whatever reason, don't know the answers, we're going to get you the answers expeditiously without you having to be on the phone with somebody an hour and a half and getting misinformation. Ticks me off, man, that stuff like this happens, and it happens every day to good people like you that don't deserve it. You deserve to have the answers. You deserve to have the protection. You deserve to have resources at your disposal so you can make an informed decision. And we are here to provide that to you. Now, I don't think I need to give you our phone number as frequently as we have in the past because the phone number is right behind us. So you can always give us a call at 772-210-1020 if you have questions. Listen, only 10 days left. Only 10. No pressure. 10 days left to make a decision if you are currently on Medicare and you have a Medicare plan and you need a review done, or if you're turning 65, you need to have some straight talk, some straight answers. someone to educate you with unbiased information, give us a call. Again, here at Owen Insurance Group at 772-210-1020. All right, moving on to number 3. This poor lady. So Helen is on a disability Medicare supplement plan. She's 62 years old. She's in the middle of cancer treatment. Going through a lot of stuff. Physically, emotionally, psychologically, of course. But she's on a Medicare supplement plan. She's on original Medicare with a supplement, thank God. She was until some idiot talked to her into enrolling in a Medicare Advantage plan. So apparently this agent doesn't know what the heck they're doing either. It's probably a captive agent selling only or representing only Medicare Advantage plans. And because Medicare Advantage is unlike original Medicare, you've got to go through flaming hoops of doom to get anything covered. You may get pre-authorizations denied. You may get claims denied. So these are some of the issues that consumers, and we see this every day, people. I'm not making this crap up. Every day we see this stuff. So you've got to know what the heck you're doing. Working with a competent agency, a competent agent who knows what they're doing. Don't be afraid to ask the agent that you're working with, how many clients do you have? How long have you been in the Medicare industry? Who do you work with? What plans do you offer? Are you captive or are you independent? Never work with a captive agent. Ever, 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 ever. Did I say ever? Don't you ever work with a captive. I mean, go ahead if you want pain and suffering down the road, because there's not a one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to your Medicare insurance planning. That individual who sells only brand X, that may not be the best plan for you. What if brand Y or Z or A is a better plan for you, right? So always work with an independent agent who has your best interest at heart, who's professional, who's competent, who's friendly, and who's accessible, right? So now she's complaining because now her cancer treatment's not being covered. Now she has to go through extra hoops. And man, what a nightmare that this agent put her in. Shame on that individual. Shame on you. Number 4. If you haven't seen it in the news, this just came out last week, a couple of days ago. A regional Medicare Advantage plan in South Florida called HealthSun. Well, you probably see the commercials, ridiculous commercials. I'm Mr. Sunshine. Mr. Sunshine and his crew is in hot water. CMS for Medicare announced charges of a now former executive of HealthSun for her role in a multi-million-dollar fraud scheme. And we're talking about fraud to the tune of over $53 million in overpayments to Medicare. Here's the real problem. Yes, she may get indicted, hopefully go to jail and rot in jail. But the problem is the company itself is not, the Justice Department is not seeking criminal charges against the carrier. Come on. They had to know. They had to know. So, Kenya Vale Boza, age 39, of Miami, formerly the director of Medicare Risk Adjustment Analytics at HealthSun, allegedly orchestrated a scheme to submit false and fraudulent information to CMS to increase the amount that HealthSun received for certain Medicare Advantage plan enrollees. Valley and her co-conspirators allegedly entered and caused others to enter diagnosis into the medical records of beneficiaries enrolled in HealthSun's plans based on diagnostic tests that were not either performed or not have a proper basis for diagnosing those conditions. In addition, Valley and her co-conspirators allegedly obtained the login credentials assigned to certain physicians to wrongfully access electronic medical records as the physicians themselves, and falsely and fraudulently entered chronic conditions directly into the medical records of beneficiaries. Shame on you, Miss Boza. Shame on you. Shame on every Medicare Advantage plan and employee who seeks to defraud the public and defraud Medicare. Shame on you. You all deserve to go to jail for a very long time. I'm just on a roll today. I'm just telling it like it is, man. Probably good that Tom is not in the room with me today. We're running out of time. All right, number 5. We have a prospective client in the city of Okeechobee, which is probably about less than an hour away from us here in Stewart. And she is so aggravated because, of course, she's over 65 and she's on Medicare, and she's getting spam and phishing calls to the tune of 50 a day, on average. 50. 50, not 5, 50. It's against the law for a carrier, for an agent, for an agency, anybody who is trying to offer you or enroll you in a Medicare plan to cold call you. It's against the law. Hang up on them. Don't take the call. Report them. It's happening. And again, we have 10 more days left of the Medicare annual enrollment period until December 7th for you to make a decision. So my guess is, because the clock is ticking, we're getting down to the last day, we're going to see more and more of this stuff happening. And it's crazy because the government is putting plans in place to protect the consumer from things like this happening. And those of us who are professional, ethical, transparent, trying to do the right thing, they're making it hard on those of us who are trying to do the right thing. And those scumbags out there that are trying to abscond with information to enroll consumers in. In fact, there was someone who called a client, one of our clients, and said they're Medicare and we want to make sure that you enrolled in the plan for this annual enrollment period and so forth. And they were not. Medicare is never going to call you. Social Security is not going to call you to do things like that. So be careful, be cognizant. There's fraudsters or scamsters all running about and running amok. But you have Own Insurance Group as a resource, as an ethical and professional and a transparent agency to help be your guide. It's shameful. I'm so mad I could spit blood of the things that are happening. My parents are getting phone calls. My mom, who's been on Medicare for over a decade, is getting calls daily to try to get her moved to a supplement or a Medicare drug plan or a Medicare Advantage plan. Calling out of the blue. They can't be doing stuff like this. Number 6, we have a client who is now my client, but she called last week upset that she got a $100 premium increase in her Plan G, a $100 premium increase. So we were able to find her a different company. As much as I want to say better, I can't say that, but a different company that has an excellent history of rate stability. So when you're, again, people don't know what they don't know. When it comes to Medicare, don't travel the road alone. Don't think you know what you're doing. It's a lot of stuff to know and to understand and to get right. And picking a Medicare supplement plan based on a name brand or based on who has the cheapest premium is not the way to go. Trust me, the day will come, and if you don't take my advice, you'll find out the hard way, like so many do. You'll find out that it's not the way to go. Now, when thank God she was healthy enough to answer no to the health questions for this other carrier who has an average rate increase of about 1.2% per year. So when you're looking at Medicare supplement plans, look at claims paying ability, rate stability, financial stability. These are important things. And then we can help, because we know the players and the carriers in the industry, we can guide you and help you with that. So we were able to get her moved over to this other carrier and save her an exponential amount of money. And that makes us feel good. This is why we do what we do, because we take care of our clients like our family. Treat you like family. And all right, and number 7, the last one, and I'll get off my soapbox. There was an existing client of mine, my client, who called this morning, and told one of my employees that she is enrolling in a Medicare Advantage plan. Someone talked her into a Medicare Advantage plan from her supplement plan that I enrolled her in last February. Again, it's disheartening to see these carriers, these agents, these call centers running amok, calling clients out of the blue, which is against the law to do, and providing them misinformation and not giving them enough information for them to make an informed decision. So she wants to give up her Medicare supplement plan where she's in the driver's seat for her health care, where she doesn't need pre-authorizations. If a doctor says it's medically necessary, she needs to have surgery, she's having surgery. No flaming hoops of doom to jump through. Well, this agent thought it was better for her to be on a Medicare Advantage plan. And remember, zero premium doesn't equate to zero cost. Some of these Medicare Advantage plans between in and out of network can go out, have out-of-pocket expenses up to $13,000. Now, I'm not in no way suggesting or implying that Medicare Advantage plans are not good. Are they appropriate for everybody? Absolutely not. Again, as I mentioned earlier in the show, there is not a one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to Medicare insurance planning. Seek out, find, if you don't want to work with Owen Insurance Group, you don't want to work with us for whatever reason, that's fine. We'll still love you. But find an independent agent or agency that has the competence and the experience and the clientele to do what's right by you. So here at Owen Insurance Group, we represent our clients. We're contracted with over 100 carriers. We're going to do the heavy lifting. We're going to do the hard work on your behalf to find you the best solution. We're going to tell you the pros and the cons of each plan, whether it's Medicare Advantage or Medicare Supplement. Because down the road, if you choose a Medicare Advantage plan, let's say, because no one has informed you that, let's say 3 years, 4 years later, now that you want to switch to a supplement plan, you just can't do that automatically. You have to now answer health underwriting questions. And if you have a pre-existing condition, you may not qualify. You see, they'll tell you all the good things about a certain plan, but they fail to disclose all the other things. Like it or not, we're going to disclose the good, the bad, and the ugly. So that way, you won't come back to us and say, hey, why didn't you tell me this? You screwed up. Now I can't change plans and I'm stuck in this plan for the rest of my life. And we see it and we hear it all the time because there are agents out there who are not doing the right thing by their clients. And it saddens me to the core to see this happen. So anyway, those are the 7 scenarios that has caused me grief and consternation as well as pain for our clients. December 7th is right around the corner. If you are not a client, that's okay. Give us a call. If you have questions, give us a call. We are here to provide you the information that you need to make a right and informed decision. So with that being said, the 10 early warning signs of dementia that you should not ignore, I'm going to postpone for another show. So next week we're going to have Tom the Bouvier with me as my sidekick for the next week's show. So you definitely want to stay tuned. We've got more valuable information coming up on next week's show, which will be December 5. December already. Christmas is right around the bloody corner. So anyway, stay tuned, because coming up next is the Brian Kilmeade Show. And truly, from the bottom of my heart, we thank you for tuning in, for listening, for watching us. And please share us with your friends, your family, your neighbors, your golf buddies, your bridge playing partners, and so forth. Let them know about the resource that we provide. And remember, Treasure Coast, stay safe, keep healthy, be happy, and enjoy your quality of life. Take care.